Okay, so today we're looking at text and how to add text to our screen too, so that we can give instructions, so that we can add little captions, subtitles, directions. Okay, so as I said, the question of the day is how can we use text to improve your scene and animation? So we're going to be using text commands within Game Lab that we can once again set position for where we want our text to appear. We can set the text size in case we want it like bigger or smaller. And so we're going to control those different text properties. Okay, so first off, what do you think happens here? What should appear on the screen? So I need to make a prediction. What will show on the screen? And where is it going to show up? Type in what you think will happen. I think that hello will, I'm going to say the word hello will appear
up here at the, can I say where hello will appear?
Then the word everyone will appear. And so we'd have to put where we think this is. X, then Y. So this seems to be to the middle left. And everyone seems to be like literally middle to the right, middle right half. I don't know, middle right. Let's just say middle right. I think that it's going to appear like here and then here. Close-ish. Okay, this is down by a little bit because that Y value is 100 bigger than the one from before. So we have hello, everyone. Well, that's pretty tiny. Okay, so we can put text anywhere we wish. It says read the documentation by clicking on the block. So I can come over to my drawing, find where it says text. I can read about it, see some examples. You know, it shows how I can set the X and Y values for that. To change the size, I just have to say text size and give it in pixels. Text align, I could actually give it directions as to where I want it to align, what kind of font I want it to use. I can change the fill, I can change the stroke, which is the outline. So there's many different properties that I can set for that. Okay. So here it says, change the display text in the provided code by adding a second text block to write in a different part of the screen. So right now, this is what it does. It changes the background to a light yellow, and then it says, change me and add another text block. I'm gonna change it to say, press here. And then I'm going to add another text block. And I'm going to say, no, here. And I'm going to put that in a completely different location. I think I want to put it in the top right. So I'm going to change it to like 350 for the X. And maybe 30 for the Y. And that runs off the screen a little bit, so I'm gonna have to change that X to be a little lower. So this says, press here, no here. So I have to change the original text, and then I add a second text block that says something in a different location on the screen. Now what's cool is when you get to the point where you can have something that, like you'd have like a shape around something that seemed like it was flashing. Like we're gonna be able to do that, we're just not there quite yet. So here we just have text in two different locations. You can click on finish. Okay, change the size of the text. So here, they show two different text sizes. There's a small, there's a medium, and the large right now is the exact same size as the medium. We need to change the size of that last word so it really is large. What is the 20 referring to? 20 pixels, 40 pixels. I need to add a text size block. Notice it's blue, so it's part of the drawing. Text size, put that before my final word. 12 was definitely too small. We started at 20, we went to 40. I think this last one probably is 60, maybe larger. If I reset and run, it definitely looks considerably larger. Could I make it 200?
Oh, I tried that. It was all over.
Too large. It's like, what's the largest one we can do and have it fit on the screen? 180? Not quite. 150. Closer. 120? Ha, 120 fits. But it doesn't fit the pattern. The pattern isn't important. What I'm looking for is to make sure that whatever you do before that large word is that you change the text size to be larger than the medium. Technically you could use 45, but that seems a little awkward. Right? Like technically it's larger than medium. You want to make sure it's noticeably larger. Okay, I was just telling the kids that this debugging the snake is probably one of the hardest things on this level. And I kind of like walked them through a little bit. I'm gonna throw you guys to it. I wanna see who's the first one to figure this one out. Order matters. Think about the order that things need to appear in, because this is kind of like layering wallpaper. You don't actually have to change any code, all you have to do is change the order.
Oh, okay.
What? It just disappeared. Oh wait, it's behind the wallpaper. Or I mean, it's behind the background. Oh, okay. So that's gotta be.
Fixed it.
You fixed it
I
already?
just figured it out.
So what had to come first?
The sprites.
No, draw
No?
sprites has to go. Draw sprites have to go right at,
I put it
right
underneath
before everything
and it
else. Look, look at me. No, look at me first. Hold on. Look, you have to put the draw sprites there. You can't have it behind everything, otherwise this sprite's gonna be drawn last. So you gotta draw the sprites
Okay,
first
hold on.
after
Okay,
the background.
Yeah, your bars should be in front of him. You're
Oh,
letting him
that's
escape.
what it was.
You're letting him escape. So, background, yes.
You gotta
Snake,
make, that
yes.
disappeared first. 'Cause
Bars, yes, then text.
we.
You got it. He was close, he was letting the poor little snake escape.
It's not poor, it murdered somebody.
How do you know? You're
Because
throwing
I looked at his
accusations.
prison record.
You're throwing around accusations and yet you don't know what he's done.
Plus, most snakes are mass murderers.
Don't judge, lest you be judged.
Are you saying because they eat mice, they're murderers? Don't you eat beef?
No, he killed a man and poisoned him. He poisoned a man with his teeth.
This has gone off the rails quickly.
It is, yes. Debug the fly.
I remember we struggled.
So, background comes first. Then the snake sprite and drawing the snake sprite.
Okay.
Then the bars.
Yeah.
Then the text.
That's not it, right? Or I was probably.
No, because you have to draw the snake before drawing the bars
Makes sense.
and
There you go.
done.
So the snake, the first is the ball.
Okay. So you draw the pink background, then you draw the snake, which requires the draw sprites.
So I got that.
Yep, background first. And then we set up the sprite and we have to draw it. Where's the command to draw the sprite?
Ma'am.
Bring that up. Uh-huh. And now try again. Close. This message needs to come on top. That needs to be the last thing that gets done. But you need to take the colors with it too. It needs to be black. Black and the text size needs to come with it too. You need the text, the actual text last. Because you set the fill, you set the text size, then you print it. Perfect. How's it looking? Getting there. So pink background first, then drawing the snake where you set up the sprite, you set the animation, you draw it, then you do the bars, which are gray, and then the text is last, which is black, size 50, greetings. Closer. What allows us to draw that snake? You're not finished. What allows you to draw the snake? It's a command that you need from down below. Pull that up underneath the pink.
Ma'am.
You're gonna have to wait a second.
There you go.
Looks good. Okay. What's that?
I finished it.
Okay, well, right now, we're not there.
I'm just telling you.
I think I would have figured that out.
Yeah.
Okay, so debugging the snake, what do we need to do? Right now, they have it out of order, or sorry, I did actually change it, I guess. This is making this, oh, you know, this is working. I've made some changes, but I realized that mine was a little bit different. Doesn't matter if this background is here or at the very top.
No.
It doesn't, okay? You could set it here, or you could set it here. The important thing is the background needs to appear before the draw sprites. If the draw sprites is afterwards, that means that it's going to do the background, then the sprite that you defined, and then everything else. Okay? What happens if we would switch the order of these? What do you think is going to happen? if I just switch the order of 3 and 4, that draw sprites is line 3 and the background is line 4.
And the background's gonna be over
Over what?
over the snake.
Over the snake. And it'll just hide the snake behind. I'll be like, what snake? I don't see any snake. So we need to make sure that we draw the background, then the sprites. Okay, let's look at this other one. Debugging the flying riddle. Fix the bug so that we get to see the text. So, right now it says, problem. Okay, I expected an image to appear, but the code doesn't even finish running and there's an error. Okay, so we need to look for clues as to where the bug is. It tells us there's an error in line what? 21. It doesn't know what this is because we have this exclamation mark. Okay? What we needed was this text to appear as a string. We need it to appear within quotation marks. Okay? So line 19, we just needed to add those quotation marks. Everything else looks normal. We reset and run, and everything appears as normal. So what were we missing on this animation?
Oh,
Just those quotation marks. Every time you want the text to appear, you need to have quotation marks around the text. If you don't, it thinks it's a variable name. And it says, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So we're finished with those. It says, here's the scene, but it needs text. So we have to add 2 pieces of text and make the 2 pieces different sizes. So we need the alien and the little robot to say something. So I need to add text where I need to draw the sprites. You may. I need 2 different text blocks. One, I think I'm going to put it about here, which is a 250-50. Or no, maybe I'll put it up here. Go with like 35-45. So 35x, 45y. And then I'm going to add another string of text down here. 55, 275. I'm going to say catching butterflies. Let's see how this looks so far.
I put like subtitles, like a lonely alien, one for Fred.
Yeah.
I
think
said
both-
these flowers are nice for
I
the
think
alien.
both are fine. So what I did looks okay, but I feel like number one, the text definitely could be bigger, and we need to have 2 different sizes. So I'm going to change the size there and the size there. Maybe I want this to be like
Oh, snap,
20,
snap.
and let's try 30.
Neck snapping instance.
And then I think I want this a little bit more to the right. Well, let me see once I run it again. I think that this one's looking good. I feel like this one needs to move. So I'm gonna change that to 50. And 260 maybe. Better. Change the X to 30. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. So I have the two different creatures speaking to each other. I think the subtitle is fine if you just want to write a description of what you see in the scene. So what you're still doing is you're creating captions for your picture.
I spelled it.
So all you need to do is, after drawing the sprites, change the text size 2 times. After each text size change, add in a text block with a phrase of some sort, some sort of text within quotation marks. Give it a location that makes sense. It doesn't make sense to hide it in the rock. Okay, it doesn't make sense to hide it where there's a whole lot of like busy images. You want to probably have it somewhere in the sky. Or maybe you have it somewhere across the bottom if you have, nice dark characters. I think I also actually would love, rather than this to be gray,
Yeah.
let's change this to, I'm gonna change it to maybe blue. Actually, let's go with green here, and I'm gonna change the color here to blue. See what it does. And it's actually a little easier to read, rather than that gray. Okay, so now we just have 3 more things that you need to get done before we start in on really your test. Should give you tons of time to get things done.
Learn how to change the color of your text.
I think we just did, huh?
I'm still doing it anyway.
So read it. Rainbows in the sky. Add more
I'm
text
adding
and even
rainbows
more
in the sky
colors.
with a lot of gold at the end.
How about, this is gonna be painful, but how about we change rainbows? I wonder if we could do it that we could actually make it rainbow colored, like, oof.
You
Oof.
want us to suffer, don't you?
Oof. You don't have to. All you have to do is add a block to make sky a different color, and then add more text with a different color. So,
Death is happening.
first off, rainbows in the sky. Sky needs to be a different color. So we're going to add a fill before that. Let's make it navy, maybe. Navy blue.
Let's make it yellow.
You could do that too. No,
I'm
it doesn't like
making
navy blue.
I'm making each line of text the color as a rainbow. Like they're color coded.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if I did this. Go Control C. So that's R A
Hey,
I
can I show you mine?
N B O. Oops.
Oh, well, I guess I'm gonna do that.
You can hope. So red.
Hello.
I'm kind of in the middle of something. You can bring it here.
That
You can bring it here.
never mind.
You really can.
Wait, actually, I'm not done.
Fill.
We have to change the positions of them.
What happened?
Yeah, do this, you do. B. Right now I'm just changing them by 5s, and then I'll go back in and, okay. B, O, W, S. This is what happens when you decide to do something just a little too extra, right? Okay, so green, blue. Now the problem with this though is that we still have 2 letters and we've run out of rainbow colors. We could try to do the same thing as what they have here and add in maybe an aqua before the blue.
Just put like starter.
Green, we could go green, aqua,
I went with the colors of the rainbow.
blue, violet.
Six.
Let's go blue, magenta, violet.
I had to use different, like, different measurements, like
Uh-huh.
the X and Y's to get that.
You don't need to use different Y's, different X's though, yes.
I use different.
I don't know why. So right now I've been spaced every 5 apart, which is not far enough,
Oh, yeah.
okay?
You have to move them 35 every time.
You think 35?
Yes, I think.
Plus another 35. Plus another 35. Oh, that's pretty close. Although, something happened with my,
You made it the same color. But very close.
okay. But I don't like how that N is that far out. And I think that the others are looking good. But that N looks a little odd. Oh. No? It's just because the eye's so skinny. I wonder about doing 115. Is that one? Yeah, I like where the N is better there. And I'm gonna add 35 from there. And then another 35 from there.
So at N, you turned it to 15.
Yeah, I like that spacing a little bit better. Well, what I did was I just changed the spacing between the I and the N. So instead of 35, it was only 15. But then everyone increases by 35 from the N. And I like how that fits better. Oh, that's just me.
Yeah.
There's really no right or wrong as long as your code works, that we've added
As
some
long as
different
it works.
colors.
You know how in some
It
games
says
you
add a
get to-
block, add more text.
Ma'am?
Uh-huh.
You know how in some games they have it where you can edit the size of the subtitles and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering, does that change the code itself? Like, is there a certain block that you would use to do that, to change that code?
I don't know, it would depend on how the initial thing is being coded.
Maybe they did something that tells them, like,
Maybe
if
like
they
a
do
variable,
this,
or not a
it'll do
variable,
this.
like one of the mathematics thing blocks, math blocks.
I think it would actually be a variable.
It would maybe be like a variable, like, but have a math block somewhere in it. Like, every time the player presses this button on this at this spot, add this much size or minus this much size from the block.
Yeah, but the variable would hold the same.
Yeah.
There, how about that? Rainbows in the sky are teaks.
I said rainbows in the sky with a pot of gold at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I made it following the order of the rainbows. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, dark blue, purple. I couldn't really do light blue.
Well, that light blue is aqua. AQUA. If you want that in the future. Or you could even try. So I used aqua in there. Let's see if we try cyan. See how much change there is between aqua and cyan. No change. It's like, yeah, we see that as the same color. It might be slightly different, I don't know.
Miss Leeson, do you like Star Wars?
I do.
Do you play video games at all?
Not really.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, if you do, then play Jedi Star Wars Fallen Order.
Yeah, it's a popular game.
Very fun. It's more of a parkour game than a combat game, like
Yeah.
Force Unleashed.
I would definitely agree with that.
I
Because
played
Force Unleashed is
Unleashed.
mostly combat, but
Are you playing on Force Unleashed?
yeah, I
played
love
that,
Force
like,
Unleashed.
today.
I played it on
I mean,
the
It's a lot more
and it was
combat
like-
in Force Unleashed.
Yeah, I played it on
I remember how old it was.
What?
Well, I think we've covered our lesson for today.
YouTube, but not.
I played it on my